She thought you'd wait forever, didn't she? That you'd stay stuck, crying, checking your phone, wondering what went wrong. But here you are, stronger, colder, sharper. And now she's the one reaching out. She's the one begging. This isn't just a story of her coming back. This is about you, the man who stopped chasing validation, stopped asking for closure, and started living on his terms. See, when a woman loses the version of you that needed her and meets the man who no longer does, that's when panic sets in. Because here's the brutal truth. She never expected you to change. Most women don't. They count on emotional control, on your need to fix things, to prove your worth, to win her back. But when you grow colder, more focused, detached even, you flip the entire dynamic. You were once the man trying to earn her attention. Now you're the man who doesn't need it. And that is the most attractive, most powerful position a man can hold. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why she's begging, what's really going on in her mind, and most importantly, how you should respond as a man who's no longer the same. This isn't about revenge. This is about power, clarity, and most of all, respecting the man you've become. Let's get into it. 1. She only misses her control. Let's be honest, brother. Most men confuse a woman's "I miss you" with love. But often it's not love. It's about losing control. When you were texting first, apologizing to keep the peace, waiting by the phone, she had power over you. She controlled the rhythm of the relationship. Now that you've gone silent, focused on your life, and stopped reacting, she feels that power slipping away. And guess what? That's what she's chasing. Not your heart, not your smile, not the memories. She wants back the version of you she could manipulate. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Control feels like safety to many women. When you were predictable and emotionally available 24/7, she knew she had you. But now she doesn't know where she stands. And that uncertainty drives her crazy. She texts you, hoping for a reaction. She calls, hoping you'll break. She says, "I miss us." But what she really misses is the power she had over you. That's not love. That's fear of losing control. And the man you are today, you've outgrown that dynamic. 2. You were plan B, all along. Here's a harsh truth most men don't want to face. You weren't her first choice. You were the safe option, the backup plan, the guy she kept around while chasing someone else. That's why she didn't value you when you were all in. That's why she seemed emotionally distant, hot and cold, confused about what she wanted. See, a lot of women will keep a good man on standby, not because they love him, but because he's dependable, available, and emotionally invested. He's a comfort zone, plan B in case plan A doesn't work out. And when that other guy finally disappoints her, ghosts her, cheats, loses interest, suddenly she remembers you. She says, "I miss what we had." What she really means is, "He didn't work out. Now I hope you're still there." It's not romance, it's damage control. And here's where most men mess up. They feel flattered. They think, "Wow, she finally realizes my worth." But in reality, she's just trying to return to her emotional safety net. You weren't her priority, you were her parachute. And now that you've changed, now that you've cut off access, built yourself up, and stopped waiting, she panics. Because the plan B she thought would always be there, evolved into a man who's no longer an option. 3. Her regret isn't about love. She says she regrets leaving you. She says she didn't know what she had. She might even cry, bring up old memories, and say she still loves you. But pause for a second. If it was love, why did she wait until you stopped caring? Why didn't she fight for you when you were breaking inside? Why didn't she check on you when you were silent and hurting? Because most of the time, regret isn't about love. It's about losing comfort, losing access, and losing control. She regrets that you're no longer her emotional support. She regrets that she can't pull your strings anymore. She regrets that you've changed, not because she loves you, but because now you're unavailable. See, love takes consistency. Love shows up before things fall apart. Regret shows up after she realizes you're not waiting anymore. And here's what most men don't see. Her regret is rooted in insecurity, not connection. It's about how your silence makes her question her worth. It's about how your absence exposes the reality she didn't want to face, that you were the realest thing in her life, and she fumbled it. But regret doesn't equal love. Regret says, I miss what you gave me. Love says, I want to give you something real. Big difference. And if you're not careful, you'll mistake her emotional reaction for genuine feeling. You'll take her tears as proof she finally gets it. But often she doesn't miss you. She misses how you made her feel when she didn't deserve it. And now that you've leveled up, now that you've become a man who no longer tolerates bare minimum energy, she feels that regret like a weight, but it's not love, it's loss. Don't confuse the two. 4. Your growth exposes her weakness. Let's get something straight. She didn't expect you to grow without her. She thought you'd stay broken. She thought you'd chase her forever. She believed she was the best thing that ever happened to you. And once she walked away, you'd crumble. But here you are, more focused, more grounded, more confident. And now, your growth is shining a light on all the things she never fixed in herself. It's confronting. It's uncomfortable. It's why she suddenly wants you back. Because the man you've become makes her look at the woman she still is. And that comparison burns. Here's where I need to challenge you. Some of you men forget the pain too fast. You grow, evolve, level up, and the moment she comes back with tears and nostalgia, you fold. You start thinking, maybe this time will be different. But brother, your growth isn't a weapon to win her back. It's a boundary to keep her away if she hasn't grown too. You're not the same man anymore. Stop pretending you are just because she finally noticed. She didn't clap for your healing. She didn't support your rise. She only came around once it made her feel left behind. And if you let her back in, without checking her intentions, without asking what she's done to grow, you're betraying the man you fought to become. Listen, your glow-up isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, spiritual. You learned to stand on your own. You stopped settling. You stopped bleeding for someone who never offered you a bandage. Don't throw all that away just because she finally looked in your direction. Her weakness is not your responsibility to carry, and your strength is not a gift for someone who only values it when it benefits her. Wake up. 5. She's jealous of your peace. You want to know what really bothers her? It's not that you moved on to someone else. It's not even that you stopped talking to her. It's the fact that you're unbothered. You're not checking her stories. You're not chasing. You're not begging for closure. You're not playing the emotional games anymore. You're calm, centered, at peace. And that peace? It's driving her crazy. Because here's the truth most men don't realize. Your peace was her control. Your chaos kept her connected. When you were overthinking, over-texting, anxious and confused, she had influence. When you stopped that, you took her power away. Now, she's the one questioning herself. She's the one wondering what you're doing. She's the one refreshing your profile, replaying your silence in her head, and thinking, how is he so okay without me? Because when a man learns to be at peace without a woman, he becomes unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. Let's be real here. She didn't expect you to thrive. Maybe she expected you to struggle, to spiral, to rebound out of desperation. But instead you got focused. You built something for yourself. You healed. And now your peace is a threat to her ego. This is why she wants back in. Not because she has some pure vision of your love story, but because she hates being on the outside of the calm you built without her. Brother, don't let anyone disturb the peace you had to suffer to find. Because the man who has peace has leverage. And once you start handing that peace away again just to keep someone else comfortable, you're back in chains. Don't do it. 6. She's attracted to the man you became without her. Let's make something very clear. She's not attracted to who you were when she left. She's attracted to who you became after she left. The version of you that's more disciplined, more distant, more self-respecting, less available. That man, the man who doesn't need her validation, is the one she wants now. Not because she finally understands you, but because she sees a man she can no longer control. That's the twist most guys don't see. She didn't fall in love again. She got curious. She saw the way you pulled back, how other people started noticing you, how you stopped over-explaining yourself and started living on your terms. That confidence, it's magnetic. That silence, it's louder than any argument you ever had. And here's the dangerous part. If you go back to being the same man she left, the one who would drop everything to make her feel better, she'll lose interest again. She's not coming back for the old you, she's coming back for the upgraded version. But if that version disappears the moment she returns, game over. Men need to understand this. A woman's renewed attraction doesn't always mean she's changed. It means you have. Your power, your focus, your emotional control, that's what pulls her in now. Don't give that up just to please her. Because if you have to lose yourself again just to keep her, then nothing's changed. She came back because she saw value. Now make sure she earns the right to experience it. You became this man without her. Don't forget that. And don't ever think you need to shrink just because she finally noticed your worth. Stay sharp. Stay you. 7. You were never the problem. Let's finally say what no one wants to say. You were never the problem. You just weren't the puppet. You didn't fit the fantasy in her head. You had flaws, but you were real. You were there. You gave effort. But when a woman is emotionally immature, even the best man looks wrong. She blamed you, said you were too much, too needy, too distant, too cold. No matter what you did, it was never quite right. But here's the truth most men ignore. You weren't the villain. You were just the mirror. You reflected her inconsistency. You exposed her inability to communicate. You triggered her insecurities simply by standing in your truth. That's why she ran. She didn't leave because you failed. She left because you revealed parts of herself she didn't want to face. And now that you're doing better, more focused, emotionally detached, suddenly she's confused. Suddenly she wants to talk. Not because she sees your heart differently, but because she realizes you weren't the issue. Now the silence is louder than her justifications. Now she can't rewrite the story without facing her role in the fallout. And this is where a lot of men break. You finally hear her say, "Maybe I was the one who messed up." And you cling to it. You want to hear more. You want validation for the pain you carried alone. But brother, listen closely. You don't need an apology to confirm your worth. You don't need her to say you were right, to know that you always had value. Your healing doesn't require her recognition. You were never the problem. You were the test she failed. And now she's realizing the man she pushed away was the only one who was actually on her side. Don't forget that. 8. Ignoring her shows. True strength. Here's the truth most men refuse to accept. Ignoring her isn't cruelty, it's power. When she's begging, calling, or trying to pull you back in, your natural reaction is to respond, fast and desperate. But real strength? It's in holding your ground. Ignoring her shows you're not a puppet. It proves you control your emotions, not the other way around. Too many men mistake attention for love. They confuse her chasing after you with genuine respect. But a woman chasing a man who ignores her, that's a man who sets the rules. And here's what you need to understand. When she sees you ignore her, it triggers a primal response. Suddenly, you're the prize, because you're not available on demand. You're not there to fix her every mood or soothe every insecurity. You're there because you value yourself enough to walk away when respect is missing. But ignoring her doesn't mean you're cold or uncaring. It means you're focused on your own growth. You're saying, I'm not going to bend just because you want me to. This is what most men miss. Ignoring her is a test. If you give in, you lose your power. If you stand firm, she begins to chase the man she once took for granted. It's not about being petty, it's about being in control. So next time she comes running back, don't rush. Hold your frame. Let her see that the man she wants is one who won't drop everything just to fill her void. This is how you protect your value. This is how you make her earn your attention. Ignore with purpose. Ignore with strength. Ignore to win. 9. She's testing your new boundaries. When she comes back begging, it's not just because she misses you. It's because she's testing your limits. She wants to see if you've really changed, if you're still the same man who put up with nonsense, if you'll fall back into old patterns. These tests come in many forms: late-night texts, emotional outbursts, guilt trips, or promises that sound too good to be true. Here's the hard truth. If you give in, you're telling her those boundaries don't matter. You're saying her old behavior is still acceptable. Men, this is the moment to wake up. Your growth means nothing if you don't protect it. You have to be clear about what you will and won't accept. If she crosses those lines, don't hesitate to walk away again. Remember, boundaries aren't walls. They're signals. They show what respect looks like. And respect is what she really wants deep down. Not the man who bends every time she pushes. So when she tries to pull you back, watch closely. Is she apologizing and proving change? Or is she manipulating to get what she wants? Don't confuse charm for commitment. Stand firm. Be consistent. If she wants back in, she has to prove she's worth it. You're not the same man anymore, and your boundaries should prove it. 10. You're no longer available. And that's irresistible. This is the final truth every man needs to understand. Your unavailability is your greatest weapon. When you were always there, always ready to respond, she took it for granted. She assumed you'd wait forever, no matter what. But now, you're different. You're busy. You're focused on yourself. You don't answer every call or text. You don't drop everything for her anymore. You live your life without her in the driver's seat. And this shift, it's magnetic. Because deep down, everyone wants what they can't have easily. Your absence creates a space she can't ignore. It forces her to face the fact that you're not just a backup plan anymore. She sees you as a prize. Not because you begged her to see it, but because you stopped making yourself available. You've raised your value by stepping away. Remember this, men often think availability equals love, but the opposite is true. Availability breeds complacency. The man who is no longer available, he's the man she thinks about when she's alone. The man she wonders if she lost for good. So keep your distance. Keep your standards high. Be the man who's hard to reach, because that's the man worth chasing. Here's the harsh truth most men don't want to hear. She only begs you back because you stopped begging her first. That's right. Your value didn't suddenly skyrocket because she realized what she lost. It skyrocketed because you stopped lowering it. When you give everything away freely, you become invisible. But the moment you pull back, set boundaries, and focus on yourself, that's when she wakes up. I want you to think about your story. Have you ever been the man who chased and begged? Or the man who walked away and suddenly became unforgettable? Drop your experience in the comments below. I read every single one. I want to understand your story, and I'll reach out to some of you personally. Because this journey isn't just about learning, it's about growing together. And here's what's coming next. In the next video, I'll reveal why ignoring her might actually make her hate you, and how to handle it without losing your power. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.